All right, so welcome to our first Tuckshop Network Meeting for 2025. And so I felt like it was a pretty good place to start to be like, how can we start this year off on the front foot? So that's what our topic of today is. Before we get too much into the meeting, we'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners and the custodians of the land across Australia and their connection to land, sea, and community. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. I recognise that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have their own unique languages, beliefs, cultural practices, traditions, diversity within each culture. And I also like to think of it as well that women and men on these lands have been meeting for centuries to share ideas and discuss ways that they can improve the health of their communities. So I hope that we can continue that, and I hope that we honour that as well. So I am Naomi, and I started at Quast in January. I am a dietitian by trade. I have a Bachelor of Medical Science, majoring in nutrition, along with a Master's of Dietetics. My area of interest within nutrition and dietetics really is community. I love working with individuals and teams all over the place to support and encourage healthier lifestyles. I have come over to Quast from the QCWA Country Kitchens program. Some of you might have heard of that in your tracks. So that's a health promotion program within the Queensland Country Women's Association. And so I had the pleasure of working with ladies all over the state to improve the health of their community. That next point there is about says that I live a chaotic existence. I have 3 children, 3 girls who are aged 8, 10, and 12. So that's pretty chaotic, as I'm sure most of you could attest to as well. You can find me at Quast on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My contact details are on the screen there as well. However, over the next few days, I'll send everybody an email so you can keep my details handy if you need any support or you've got any questions or queries and things like that. So an overview of our session today. So I'm just going to give everybody a bit of a quick update on Quast, give you a bit of a heads up on training and new resources that are available. Our topic of today is about strategies for starting 2025 off on the right foot. We will also have some question and answers and discussion. This is pending time. You may have noticed that we're now scheduling these meetings to be 30 minutes instead of the previous hour. Just hoping that we can capture a few more conveners before that school pickup time. If we do run out of time for questions, I'm more than happy to answer any that you've got. Just either email me, pop them on the Facebook group, or you can give me a ring and I will answer those as I can. Just ask everyone also, just to remind you that we are recording the session. And so if you can have your microphones off throughout the presentation, that would be great, as Zoom does pick up a lot of background noise. You're more than welcome to come off mute and ask a question. If your questions can kind of wait to the end, that is great. But if it can't, absolutely come off and ask your question. That's all good. So a bit of a Quast update. So we've got a couple of new resources that have gone online. So late last year, a food storage guidelines went up on the resources page. And then this year, a food conversions and common cooking time. That's a members only resource. And then last week, we just popped up a cooking with pantry and freezer staples. That one is free for everybody to use, and it will also be kind of continually updated as new recipes come through that are suitable to be added to it. Just on resources as well, if you're looking for something in particular and you can't find it, or you think, oh, that would be really great to have a particular resource, just let us know, because chances are if you would find it valuable, other people will also find it valuable as well. So if we don't have a resource, we're more than happy to create one or look into creating one, if it's going to be kind of useful and valuable for everybody out there. Since it's the first meeting of the year as well, I just thought it might be a good idea to quickly run through the Quast team in case you're new to this group or you're a new convener. So on the screen there, so Karen is our executive officer. She's there on the left. She has a background in business and nutrition. She guides us as an organization, and she's best positioned to offer financial advice to tuck shops. Karen is in the middle there. She's our admin manager. She's been with Quast for 18 years. And she ensures the day-to-day running, day-to-day, week-to-week. She looks after members, memberships, invoicing, payments, and a whole bunch of other tasks. And then Chrissy there in the blue, she's our comms manager. So she's in charge of social media, all marketing, press releases, the website queries, resource design. And if you've contacted Quast in the last month, chances are you've spoken to Chrissy because Karen's been on leave. So Chrissy has been doing everything, given that I am brand new, and Karen is also pretty new to the organisation as well. So my role, I am employed as part of the Healthier Tuck Shops program, but I do offer, I do some other Quast tasks as well. We are governed by a board. That board meets every second month just to ensure the smooth running of the organisation. So some training that we have got coming up. So next Monday, there's a face-to-face food safety supervisor course, which is going to be held in the Quast office in Coorparoo. The next three trainings on the screen there are offered virtually in March. So that's the Pathway to Profit, the Convener course, and another food safety supervisor course. You can register for any of these on the Quast website. And I also just thought I'd remind everybody that the healthy menu planning course is also available on our website. It's free and it's self-paced. So you can register and start it via the Quast website as well. I did do it when I started. So it doesn't actually take very long to work your way through those modules. And it's quite valuable as well. So 2025. Here we are. I hope no one has asked for a refund just yet. So things that we're going to cover today in our chat, we're going to briefly go over volunteers, goals. We're going to touch base on allergies briefly, talk about menu and budgeting, student ordering, and planning. So new year, new students, new volunteer base. So make sure you reach out to the new families at your school so they're aware of the tuck shop, what days you're open, and that you most probably rely on a volunteer base. Make sure new families know some of the roles that you put out to volunteers. For example, it might not be serving food, but potentially some prep time or even some home baking opportunities. If shorter shifts are available, make sure they know this too. It's important that you're communicating your message very clearly. So you can do this via the school newsletter, school social media, and even face-to-face if you can. Prep pickup is a great opportunity to introduce yourself and hand out some flyers. Ensure the message that you're handing out includes that grandparents and significant others are also welcome in the tuck shop. Make sure you present at the first P&C meeting of the year, or send a proxy to do a bit of a volunteer shout out. So if someone does let you know that they are interested in working in the tuck shop, make sure your communication and your gratitude is very clear. So talk to them about when they're keen to do it, what they're keen to do, and make sure you communicate volunteer expectations to them, like if they have an orientation, if they need to do safe food handling, things like that. Sometimes you might have people tell you that they can't help now, but they might be able to help at the end of term or in term 2. So if this is the case, make sure you grab their details and you add them to your volunteer list and ensure they're included in all of your communication. Make sure you follow up with them closer to the time that they said they were available to help. This reminds them that you are still that you're still around, you still need help, and it also lets them know that you keep in contact with your volunteers. So check in with your 2024 volunteers. Make sure you thank them for their time last year and ask them if they're able to continue to assist this year. If they're unable to help due to work or other commitments, ask if they've got a friend, parent, auntie, or neighbour, someone who might be able to come in their place. If we make the tuck shop an enjoyable environment, people will want to come and hang out there. So we encourage people to communicate regularly with your volunteers. You might want to create a schedule where you communicate rosters, gaps, events, and any changes that might be occurring in the tuck shop. Someone in the P&C might be able to might be a marketing or an IT whiz and can set up a bit of an email list for you and or a newsletter template. You can share the Healthier Tuck Shop newsletter that comes from us every couple of months with your volunteers. This keeps them informed of things that are happening on a statewide level, and it also provides information and ideas that other tuck shops are doing that might be valuable or workable in your tuck shop as well. And induction and or training. So make sure you have a process for bringing on new volunteers that covers the flow of the tuck shop and other compliance requirements, including workplace health and safety. Emergency procedures, how to use equipment, school facilities, food safety, things like that. You may like to do these on a session if you've got numerous new volunteers, and it might even be easier to do it outside of tuck shop hours. The last thing you want is to be trying to show people how everything works and how everything flows when you're trying to do all of that, Friday prep for Friday service times. There is a sample volunteer orientation checklist on the QOST website under member resources. And it's also important to check in with the annual requirements of your previous volunteers as well. Has anyone's blue card expired? Things like that. So we do have a volunteer management course that you can work through at your own pace online. It's $50 for both members and non-members, and it covers all things volunteers. So, in a meeting late last year, Natalie talked about setting goals for this year. Do you want to generate more of a profit, increase your volunteer base, change up your menu so that you bump up your Apple rating? She suggested things like developing a plan, sitting down with the P&C or your school management to set some goals that best capture priorities and to make sure that these are realistic and achievable for you as well. Communicate specifically what you want to achieve. For example, we want to offer a nutritious, tasty, and affordable a nutritious, tasty menu at affordable prices to staff and students. Where you can, make sure your goals are SMART goals, which is a term I'm sure everybody's heard before. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, realistic or relevant, and it's important that you put a time frame on your goal. So for example, a SMART goal might be all tuck shop volunteers will have completed both food safety and allergies in school online training before the end of term 2. So to step that out, it's very specific. You're aiming it at tuck shop volunteers and you're asking them to complete easy, accessible online training that is considered best practice for your tuck shop. It's measurable. You can have a list of your volunteers' names and tick off their names as they complete the training. It's achievable, it's free, it's online, and it doesn't take very long. It's relevant. It helps with the running of the tuck shop. Everybody will get something out of it. And it's got a time frame on it. So if we set that SMART goal for today, people have got almost 5 months to complete it. It's not like we're saying, hey, finish this training by Tuesday. We've got plenty of time to work at achieving that goal. It's important that you communicate your goals and any changes with relevant stakeholders. So that might be the P&C, the parents, the kids. So you can communicate via emails, newsletters, and social media. So our next point of discussion to start off the year on the right foot is just to quickly talk about allergies. So it's important to check with the school office whether any new students have allergies and if any current students have been diagnosed with an allergy. Invite parents of children with allergies to come and discuss how you can manage their allergy from the tuck shop. Having the parent contact details and advising them of any new or discontinued products is also a good idea. Review the tuck shop allergy plan and make sure all volunteers are aware of the changes. Quast website has links to numerous allergy resources, including some free training that's run through the National Allergy Council. No worries, I just saw your message, Suzanne. That's all good. It's recommended that all staff and volunteers in the tuck shop undertake the All About Allergens training relevant to schools. Again, this is free training, and it's there has been a bit of a push for it to become mandatory. At the moment, it's not, but it is considered best practice. It is really good training, and it is worth asking your volunteers to complete it for the safety of your school community. I'll send through a link to that training when I send through the PowerPoint and the links, probably on Wednesday this week. We are planning on doing one of these meetings in term 2 around allergy management in the tuck shop. So if you do have any specific questions or you want to share how your school manages allergies, feel free to email me and I can make sure I address them in the session. Or if it's a curly question that you've got and you need an answer before the meeting, absolutely let me know and I can get back to you with an answer to that question. So Natalie had suggested in her winding down the tuck shop for the year meeting last year that it's important that you review your menu, gather accurate data about finances, and what were your most popular, least popular, most profitable, least profitable items. If you didn't get the chance to do that last year, you can do it now, but making drastic menu changes once the year has already started can be a little bit confusing for parents and their students. It is still important for you to look at your expenses for the coming year and budget for these accordingly. Ensure you're getting the best price you can from your suppliers. Even if you checked it in term 4 last year, just check it again because prices might have gone up over the summer without you realizing it. If you have made some menu changes, make sure you communicate these to your school community. Think about having taste testers available on certain days at certain times and invite parents to come along and taste these as well. They might even join your volunteer roster while they're there. And just a reminder, we do offer a menu health check services to members for free. You can upload your menu via our website or email it through, and we can have a look at it. So we do use Education Queensland Smart Choices policy as a reference when we're looking at the health of your menu, but we're happy to work with you on tweaks and adjustments that you might be able to make to improve the health of the menu that you are offering. If you need a little bit of assistance with finances or budgeting, we can help with that as well through member services. So with new parents and kids, it's important to make sure they all know how Tuckshop orders are placed and the times that these need to be placed by. And also if there's any other relevant rules that they need to know. For example, is there a limit on cash purchases? Use the school newsletter, welcome packs, and social media to communicate the parameters around ordering. And last but not least, in kind of starting the year off on the right foot, I just encourage everybody to revisit the Term 1 calendar and to check for special events such as the swimming carnival or theme days such as Harmony Day, which is in March, or if there's any additional catering requirements, staff development days, the teddy bears picnic, things like that. It's also important that you communicate tuck shop closures with the school community well in advance when you can. Talk to your staff and volunteers about gaps in knowledge or things that they would like to learn about. Have a look through the cost resources and make suggestions regarding these. Think about courses that you might want to do and to build your confidence in running the tuck shop. Talk to the P&C or the school exec about these and register for them nice and early. So since it is the first one of the year, I just thought I would take the time just to remind everybody about some of the services and the support that Quast does offer. We are in a position to support you, and that's what we love to do. So please utilize our services. So everybody has the opportunity to connect with us, whether you are a member or a non-member, via phone, email, and social media. Everyone can access the recipes and all conveners are welcome to join these meetings, plus the Tuckshop Conversations Facebook group. We have a range of online resources, some of which are only available to members. We have this model as we are a member service. However, through Health and Wellbeing Queensland funding, some resources are made available to everybody. Those resources that are free for all, they tend to focus more on that healthier tuck shops aspect. As I said, we offer menu health checks and we also can do a tuck shop tune-up, which looks at the overall operations of the tuck shop. We also offer financial services and a range of face-to-face, virtual or self-paced training. If you're not sure whether your school is a member, reach out and we can let you know. And as I said before, if you're looking for a particular resource and you're unable to locate it or something like it, let us know and we'll see what we can do and what we can find or what we can create for you. Oh, good. Well, if no one's got any questions, just a quick heads up on what's coming. So the next Tuckshop Network meeting in 2 weeks, the topic will be on simple swaps or healthicizing your menu. March 17 is going to be all about breakfast in the tuck shop. So this one's going to be ideal for schools that have OSH, schools that provide a brekkie club, or for those where there might be a demand for an early service. For example, if there's lots of staff and students doing before school activities who are happy to purchase food prior to the school day starting. As I said before, a recording of the session will be made available in a couple of days, and I'll also email out the PowerPoint and any links through to everybody later in the week. And yes, please keep in touch. You know, we're here to support you, and that's what we really want to do. And that's a wrap from me. No worries. Well, yep. Feel free to reach out if you've got any questions. I'll email everybody in a couple of days. Have yourself a excellent week, hey?